We're going to do these 4 achievements in this video. Without joining a faction, defeat the Soviets, take Norrbotten from Sweden, Finnmark from Norway, and don't lose control of a starting core. And have all them pretend countries as your puppets. There's more to that first one that they won't tell you. You can't just be at war with them and for them to cap. You have to have at least 15% war participation and you have to be the one that took Moscow. We'll start off with a bit of Finnish neutrality.
I hate these filthy neutrals, Kif. With enemies you know where they stand, but with neutrals, who knows? It sickens me.
We'll start by researching this stuff. Support weapons 1 just because it takes the same amount of time as basic machine tools, so we can get concentrated industry as soon as that's done. And we need to get down to a computing machine to get this focus, so make an effort with the research text. There is a focus that gives some time off that we're going to do later anyway. Then we'll just build mills, starting in Karelia because it's 60%, and then Ulsima and Turku, they'll be 60% by the time we're building there. And we'll start off by producing this stuff. Once you've got factories on that support equipment, anti-air and trains, stick a load more on guns. And don't forget to make convoys. And we're going to start off by doing some 1 division training. We really want army experience coming in as quick as possible. Then we're going to do the political unity focus. You see that focus has an effect on the balance of power, but I'll explain it in a minute because it's not relevant yet. Our first PP spend is going on the army offence guy to get that experience coming in, and he's clearly the best one. When political unity is done, we're going to hold off on getting a focus for a second until we've got 150 PP, so that we can fire this leader and replace him with someone better. And now settle in for some boring ass explanation of the Finnish balance of power mechanics.
Right, everyone, shut up!
There's the balance of power. Public trust it's called. You see if it's low you get a load of debuffs, stability, war support, PP, and combat stats as well, recovery rate and defense. And if it's high, you get the opposite, plus more people attack and lower division attrition. However, the public trust is related to the leader, not to the nation, which is why that focus earlier was irrelevant because we got rid of him. The balance of power goes up and down on its own regardless of the focuses you do, based on your leader's public agenda, which you can see by hovering over their portrait. So for that starting leader, having more than 9% support for democracy or communism will have it going down, and it will tick down all the time, and it goes down really quick. Also goes up really quick. Having less than 1% for both would have it going up all the time. So you start with that guy, and he starts 45% on the low trust side, and it's ticking down because you have a lot of democracy support. And he has a shitty bonus of 5% stability and infrastructure construction speed, and we're not building infrastructure anyway. When you get a new leader, it resets the public trust back to 0, and our new leader has much better bonuses. And his personal agenda is hating fascists and communists. We do currently have more than 9% support for fascists, so it will be ticking down. However, we will rectify that shortly, and we'll get both communism and fascism below 1%. The communism won't be helped by one of his bonuses, so we'll get the public trust ticking up and keep it permanently 100, so we'll have these bonuses for the entirety of the game. In terms of the decisions you have in the balance of power, the bottom one lowers trust, so we'll never press it. Entice the Masses has 10% non-aligned support, so we'll press it shortly. The middle 2 you can only press them while you're at war, and that military government one will replace this leader anyway, so we won't ever press the top 2. I'm sorry, but there's going to be a bit more about it later when we change leader again. We'll do the Finnish-Swedish People's Party focus now, because it unlocks a really good advisor you can hire for just 52 PP, and that focus gives you 50. Because we have such high war support, we have tons of command power coming in. So I promote a load of generals to field marshals because you can give them +1 attack. We're going to use a lot of guys. Just make sure you have 50 command power saved up for the 17th of July 1937. I do these 2 focuses next to get the 2 civs. You do get a lot of civs from the industrial side of the focus tree, but you're going to do everything in the tree anyway. When I've got 50 PP, I do anti-fascist raids to bring down the popularity of fascism. And once I get to 35 army experience, I get proper heritage so I can design cav divisions for free, and then make this division so that you get the most amount of experience coming in from the 1 division training. The limitation on Finland is manpower, however we can get down and do this thing in the doctrine that gives a +5% recruitable population, and plenty of time before the Soviets come, which is why we've been prioritising army experience. We'll go to partial mob now, using one of his bonuses that we can get there a little bit cheaper, and that'll free up the civs needed to create a spy agency, which will upgrade 5 times to get an additional agent. You could have gone partial mob before doing the anti-fascist raids.
You know what? I'm about to say it.
Say it.
I don't care.
If it's not meta.
Suck my jag on!
We'll start going down the industrial side of the tree now. The mills are nearly finished building in Karelia, so it's a good time to upgrade Ulsima and Turku. And when we get our first spy, we'll put him over in Vladivostok so he won't get caught there. The anti-fascist raids ended a little while ago. We got down to 8% fascism, so we're going to ban fascism now. It means it will hit our stability. It's only 6% though. But obviously that means we get no more fascism coming in, so we can hire this guy for the extra 200 manpower a week. It's not a huge amount, another 30,000 for when the Soviets come. But obviously it means fascism at 0% now, and communism will soon be with our bonus that the leader has. So the public trust will always be going up. You could do entice the masses now for the 10% non-line support, so you would drop below that 1% communism. But I prefer to hire this guy. I'll do anti-Semitism in a minute. His unaligned spot won't make a difference because we've got so much in the country already, and his PP is obviously marginal at +5 and I'm getting tons anyway, but I like him for the production cap. Once the spy in Vladivostok got to 50% network strength, we put him on quiet mode so he cannot get caught, and straight away we just start doing collabs once we got the second spy. And we'll do this focus to get that bonus for electronics, to get that computing machine earlier. I started researching radio 1, so that the second radio we can use the other 50% on, and the third one we can use the 75 off this. And we send an attaché to the Chinese so that we can 100% get that doctrine finished before the Soviets attack us. And when they complain about it, as they always do, literally 2 days later, remember to tell them to just bloody do one.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
As I said, we've got tons of PP, so I would hire this military theorist before we start doing your doctrine to get 10% off. We want to get to human wave offensive as early as possible because obviously it takes time for that manpower to mobilise. And this focus gives 75% off on a doctrine, so if you've hired that guy, it's only 15 army experience. Well, one of them. The first collab's done, so just get them straight back out to Vladivostok, same again, get to 50%, do it. This is a good industrial concern for Finland. You don't get many resources, so the efficiency won't help much, but the lack of resources will. You can get a lot of resources from the focus tree, but they don't really give very many. And a lot of them are locked behind technologies you're not going to research until the late game. You do get a lot of civs from the focus tree, but because we never built any, we don't want to be using them too much on importing. We really don't have that many. We've got the computing machine now, so we can go ahead and do the focus to give the extra research slot. We're making such basic divisions, having all that time off for research is kind of wasted.
Like,
Fuck me, right?
And now we've got the People's Army Doctrine, we can increase the size of that division because we can add an extra battalion to every line to get even more experience coming in.
Fuck you, asshole.
When there's more than 25% world tension, you can do this focus, which starts you down the path of getting all the overpowered bonuses. And this Jaeger movement one, which unlocks an infantry expert, who we'll obviously hire, along with this regrouping genius and this logistics expert. That Jaeger movement focus also unlocks a load of amazing generals to go along with the amazing ones you already started with. We've got the better gun research, we'll put it straight into production. Manpower is the limitation on Finland, not equipment. We will have enough, so we don't care about the hit to production efficiency that gives. And after doing this focus, we get a few more resources, so we'll get that civ back from Sweden. We can't afford to be giving away one.
I'm broke!
We're 100% non-aligned now, and we've spent a lot of PP that we're going to be spending, and we've got loads coming in anyway without that guy, so we'll replace the traditional theorist. This Master Armour is a good choice. We're not going to convert anything, but the top 2 bonuses it gives are very good, and I have no fucking idea what that bottom one even means. Oh, look at that, we've got 90 army experience, we've got to human wave offensive 8 months before the Soviets come, so that's an extra 5% recruitable pop. Well, with that recruitable population factor, it's actually 6% more than we had without it.
Winning. Winning. Winner, winner. Winning. 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 Wow, winning.
These focuses will increase that recruitable population factor, though you're never going to mobilise everything from human wave offensive before war anyway, so I won't worry about rushing them. Instead, I'd do as many of the focuses underneath extra refresher exercises as you can. You won't be able to get them all done before war, but obviously carry on while you're at war. They are super overpowered and make Finland borderline unbeatable. And as if it needed saying, but the genuine unlock here in the CC focus is very good. And the fella you unlocked before from multi-tactics is genuinely amazing. You were spoilt for choice as Finland. There's a general you unlocked before, Fanny. She's not that good. And we're going to get our final collab. They get more expensive every time, so this one will genuinely cripple our economy. But what economy? We just have to go without any civs for 4.5 months, leave our country in ruins. It'll be worth it to get revenge on these Russians. We've had centuries of oppression, it's time we started fighting back. We've got 6 months before the Soviets come now, so we'll stop the 1 division training. We've only got the final doctrine to do, and we'll get enough experience for that from China. And we'll design our division and start pumping them out. It will be a lot stronger than it looks on paper due to all the bonuses we get. You don't want to spaff out a shit ton, because they are going to be under strength, and they do risk getting killed. I go for 48, that's enough to guard all we want, and they should have enough manpower for September. And we are going to get absolutely rinsed under their air power, so I go for armoured trains. I've probably left it too late to make any difference though. We'll get operational reserves for the extra 10% HP and bold attack, because we're going to kill so many Soviets, our generals are going to get shit tons of levels, so I would like them to get more attack points. And it's nearly time, so I'm going to put the troops where we need them. I take the strongest guys and stick them on that long eastern border, because that's where they're going to be attacking the most and we are the weakest. So I'll also put them under the best general. Then I put some weaker divisions north of Leningrad, and you have to guard the coastline because the Soviets will naval invade loads. I don't go all the way up to that nook next to Sweden because they never seem to naval invade up there. And I put a few more troops up at Petsamar because they will naval invade there and it's bad supply, so it is a weak point. And remember to put someone covering Ireland because it's demilitarized at the minute, but when we go to war it won't be, and that'll be achievement gone if you lose it. The achievement says you can't lose control over a core, and that's not the same as losing tiles. You can lose tiles as long as you still control the state, but obviously just try not to lose anything. These are your weak points at Karelia and up at Petsamar. But like I said, them taking tiles isn't the end of it, but if they're pushing your divisions it doesn't bode well for you being able to ever stop them. We'll put our tiny navy on convoy raiding. They'll get destroyed pretty quick, but they'll go out as heroes taking some Soviets down with them. And here they are. You've got 2 weeks to give them an answer, so we'll wait 13 days and then say no. And they think about it for 5 days and then they declare war on us. So first thing we'll do is up our conscription. We're still mobilising for the human wave offensive, so we'll just go to extensive conscription. There's no point going crazy. And we'll go to total mob and get women in the workforce to get the 3% recruitable population back that we lose from that. When we've got 150 PP we'll go to the military government because that gives another 1% recruitable as well. And we'll just sit back and let them run into us for a bit. If we don't go for the achievement where I can't lose any cause, we could be more aggressive.
Man, that'll leave me alone, man.
If we look like we're on the verge of losing anything, we'll react to it, but we should be fine. And the final collab's done now, so when we do actually go into the Soviets, they won't last long at all. But we're not looking to be doing any attacking just yet, we're still mobilising. The majority of our divisions are still under strength. I decided to get war bonds before the military government, because we have to think long term. We are going to be fighting for many years and not just against these. Or possibly I'm just scrambling for a reason why I did that one first, even though I don't think it was the best idea. But we've got 150 now, so we let Mannheim take over, and being the huge hero he is, he even stays on as a field marshal while running the country. And his personal agenda is being at war, so that's easy enough. And his -5 to stability there is balanced out by the +10 for a defensive war, so he is actually +5. And the second he's in charge, he takes his eye off the ball clearly because a naval invasion lands. He didn't have any troops guarding that tile. But that's fine, we run down there and crush them. We only lost the tile, we didn't lose the state, so it's meaningless. We have about a 10-to-1 kill ratio against the Soviets at the minute, which is pretty poor considering they have limitless reserves of manpower. However, our divisions are under strength, that's why it's so bad. And the longer the war goes on, the better it'll become. We do have a lot of spare equipment, so we could get out more divisions, we're just not mobilising quick enough. I think I forgot to select this decision. And the Soviets naval invade Ireland, and there's a red bubble. Now that doesn't definitely mean we're going to lose, but why risk it? We'll get that one division onto a different general and get them last standing. That means that men and equipment will be lost, but not organisation, so they will hold that, assuming they don't die, and we'll just keep last standing until they win. And 8 months in, our divisions are finally full of men, so let's get more of them. Ah yes, my good friends in the east, that business with the attaché, just a big misunderstanding. We've been at war for about a year now. When we get a few more divisions, we'll start thinking about going on the offensive, but we'll start thinking about heading west rather than southeast. And you can see we're not fully mobilised yet, so there's no point upping that conscription law. You just give yourself debuffs for no reason. And you remember before it was 25,000 to 230,000. Look at it now. The time has come to unleash Finland's secret weapons. No, not them. What the fuck are you thinking?
They love the laughter and they love the living, the romance.
No, not them either. Calm down. I'm talking about adding these 2 unique support contests to the divisions. You get some moderate buffs on stats, but you're much better in snow and cold weather. So we're going to take some of these untrained divisions that we're pumping out and stick them on the Soviet border to replace the strong ones that we're going to go over to Sweden. The reason we're choosing to attack Sweden now, rather than after we've dealt with the Soviets, is because even though the Winter War is defensive, we will create world tension in the peace deal, and France, Britain and the US are morally opposed to any nation doing any kind of land grabbing. when it's not them, so they will guarantee Sweden after the war, or just straight invite them into the Allies, which we would obviously rather avoid. So we'll just continue to defend against the Soviets while we're attacking the Swedes, which will take 125 days to get that war goal. Now don't get me wrong, this is going to be pretty fucking ugly. We don't have a lot of divisions, the new ones we're pumping out are under strength, we're just going to try and encircle as many Swedish divisions in the north and kill them and then run south. Ideally, Sweden will go down quick because we do have to deal with the Soviets. We'll 100% get more than 15% war participation because we never pussied out and made peace with them, so we've been at war for 2 years longer than the Axis who have just gone in now, but we need to be the ones to take Moscow. So that means right now we're involved in a two-front war, which is fine because we've killed more than 1 million Soviets already. We're going to just run straight through them. I mean, Germany will as well, so don't be dilly-dallying around. And we've killed the majority of the Swedish troops. So we'll clean up the Soviets in the Kola Peninsula and whatever that area is south of there, so there's no threat to losing any core states, and then we'll just head to Moscow. As in just grab some troops and right-click Moscow. I've almost fucked this up. And Sweden dies. All we need is no Borton for that achievement, but we're just gonna take everything obviously. And we're closing in on Moscow, and we take it. Never in doubt. With the war nearly over, we'll go up to service by requirement now because we can't do that at peace, and we'll help the Germans kill off the Soviets. Because we've got those 3 collabs on the Soviets, if all the territory was going to us, they would have been dead already. But Germany holds like 2/3 of it. They shouldn't last too much longer though. And they do die. We do need quite a lot of land for those 2 achievements. I'm not 1,000,000% sure what they are, so I'll just take a fuckload. You could say we Mannerheim Ribbentropped them up. And even with all that stupid running at the end, still 9-to-1 death ratio. So let's just take a minute to pervert our glorious Finnish Empire. Look at these generals, bloody ridiculous. So we got that first achievement by having more than 50% war participation and taking Moscow. But as for the Greater Finland one, we have everything from the USSR and Sweden, but we need Finnmark from Norway. And Norway's been invaded by the Axis and the Rice Commissariat at the minute, which is what we want to happen. Because we're not going to join the Allies, obviously it would invalidate that achievement. And if we did, that territory would go back to Norway. But we need to attack the Axis anyway to get Hungary and some of those provinces to create those other puppets that Germany took into peace deal with the Soviets. But we don't need much war score, so the Allies should do most of the work. And there's Mannerheim saying he's gonna have to go. If you remember, his personal agenda was being at war, so we do kind of have to get rid of him and replace him with this strange looking fella.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Whose personal agenda is as silly as he looks. If the public trust is above 95%, it goes up. Below 60, it goes down, and in between, it stays the same. Maybe Paradox hates that guy, but they chose this picture, and any of these would have been 1,000,000 times better to base his portrait on. Maybe his time as envoy to Stockholm or Finnish president, he pissed Sweden off somehow, I don't know. So now we don't have the recruitable population from Winter War or Mannerheim, so we're going to lose some guys. And for the second game in a row, I regret not going to war economy when I had a chance. We spent about 18 months getting ready. In the meantime, we do get this focus, which gives us about an extra 1,000,000 core manpower. I was expecting to have full compliance on the Soviet Union from the collabs we did, which would have given us access to a lot of their manpower so we could have attacked straight away. After about a year, the manpower stops going down, so we start setting up our troops where we need them. We guard the coastlines yet again to prevent naval invasions and stick a load of guys here on a defensive line that we can hold. And then we'll stick some guys up here near Norway. We're not going to worry about Sweden because we only need to hold our starting cores for that other achievement. And the best way to earn war participation is by killing Axis troops, so we're going to let them into Sweden and then murder them. So we justify in Bulgaria, led by some fella I don't think I've ever seen before.
Who the fuck are you?
So we declare on them, we go to all adult serve, and we're just going to do a similar thing we did with the Soviets. Sit back and let them die on us while the manpower comes in, and I will remember to press that this time. And then when we see an opportunity, we'll do a few encirclements. But this video is getting long already, so I won't bore you with everything. We let them come up in Sweden, then frontline, and encircle and kill the divisions. And in September 19th, 1944 has come and gone without losing any starting core territory, so that's that second achievement. And we get the Axis kicked out of Scandinavia, and we declare war on Denmark with a general there who's got makeshift bridges. And Denmark rises up against Germany, so we're fighting on the same side as well as against them. And we launch some general all-out offensive on the former Soviet Union territories. Then I remember that we've got a navy, so I get them over to the Straits of Denmark to add shore bombardment. And then as if by magic, as soon as I've done that, we can actually cross. And Denmark caps, and for some reason Norway's in the peace deal, so I take Finnmark, and that's that third achievement done. I asked the UK for military access and start pushing from their landing in Germany. We're just grinding for war score now, so even our troops dying is contributing to that, so we're just running in like headless chicken. And they cap, and we got 11% war participation, that's more than enough for what we need. So we just take a shit ton of land. And we release all those puppets to get the final Finnish achievement of this run. Then we re-annex Sapmi and release ourselves of them to get this 5th achievement. And if you want to know why Finland is so fucking ridiculous, these are the same divisions I was using, except 35 with. But that wasn't during the Winter War, so they didn't have this bonus. And they weren't fighting on core territory, so they didn't have these bottom 2 either. You saw the strength of those divisions I was putting out for the Winter War. The Soviets couldn't beat quarter strength division. As long as you put your strong ones on that long border, you cannot lose.